Most of us think we're better than we are. All right. Most of us think our art is better. Most of us think we're better at business. Most of us think we're better in shape. Most of us, when we're creating something, we think we're better than we are. And when our family and friends see us doing these things because they care about us, they will encourage us. But here's the thing, bro. It's not lonely at the top. That's just something losers say to excuse themselves from doing the work that is necessary to actually become who it is they want to become. Because everybody has this little version of themselves in their heart. They know they're supposed to become. They know what it's supposed to be. They can feel it. They can see it. They know they're supposed to be this bad mother that exists inside of them, but they do not have the courage to even say, this is what I want to become. And if you don't have the balls to say, this is what I want, you sure as don't have the inner grit, fortitude, tenacity to go out and create it. Nobody is here for you. And that's the biggest mistake a lot of you guys make, is assuming that they are. There's nobody here for you. You have to put this on your back and carry it. And if you don't, you will not get there. That's the bottom line.
The world doesn't think you're special like your mom does. It doesn't think you're a delicate little flower. It doesn't care about you. Now, with that being said, the world doesn't hate you. It doesn't want you to fail. It just is, okay? And I see so many people going through their life with this overwhelming feeling of either A, the world owes me something, or B, the world hates me. And the reality is it's neither. And what's common amongst this group of people that I find is that both these groups of people that I find is that they're missing the understanding of what it means to be successful. And if you want to be truly successful in life, you have to be selfless, and you have to understand that being selfless and being of service to other people is the only true way to find long-term success.
You can't expect people to push you out. You've got to make it happen on your own. You can't depend on anybody. Here's the reality of people in your life. Most people do not give a fuck about you, okay? You're going to realize this one way or the other along the way in life. People closest to you will not support you until other people are supporting you. I don't know why it's that way, but it's that way. When I was in business coming up, bro, nobody really ever I mean, yes, my brother, my dad, close people to me, they supported, but like people that I was very good to, people that I was friends with, people, they would giggle, they would laugh, they wouldn't support us publicly, they kind of snickered. And it wasn't until it was very clear that I was going to do something that then those people came around. All right, so let's break this down to what this could be, okay? First of all, you could not be good enough. Your shit might not be good enough. Your shit might just need more work in order for people to like it. And that's a very real option for you to consider, because our friends and family will tell us we're doing great whenever we're really not that good, right? We're over here painting a picture and they're like, holy shit, dude, that looks like Bob Ross.
Yeah, Picasso, I like it.
Yeah, and it fucking doesn't, right? You put that shit out and people laugh.
Yeah.
So we can't take our friends and family's encouragement to heart because it's not real. They're biased, all right? You may need to get better. Secondly, you're battling human nature, all right? Nobody wants to be the first person to say that's cool shit. And very few people can do that, all right? So most people wait until something is very obviously going to be successful or very obviously going to be cool to jump on the bandwagon. This is why your friends, your family, the people closest to you will not start to encourage you until they see strangers encouraging you, which is counterintuitive, and it makes us scratch our heads like, shit, why is it this way? It's just that way. These people are reminded every single day that they're not doing anything relevant. They're not trying anything relevant. They're not even attempting to be anything more than what they are. And because you are, they will pretend to support it, but they won't support it in public, all right? But once you get to a point where you're kicking ass and everybody's starting to think you're awesome, then all of a sudden, bro, it goes from them not supporting and they start showing up at your shit, they show up at your shop, they show up, they buy your products, and they start saying this shit. Man, I always believed in you. I'm so proud of you. And you're thinking like, if you always believed in me, how come you never shared my shit back in the day? How come you never helped me out? How come you never had a conversation with me? How come you never gave me any good advice? Why'd you laugh at me? Why'd you make fun of me? Why'd you make those smart ass remarks if you always believed in me? Because bro, that's what happens. These people fucking come around, and they only come around once you're so obviously going to do it. And by that point, you won't care that they're there. That's the thing. So we greatly overemphasize the effects of other people's belief on us, falsely thinking that we need their belief to be successful. The people closest to you will never actually believe in you until you are very clearly going to win, and then they will come back around and support you. And some of them never will. So it's actually irrelevant. So the point here is you've got two things going on. One, your shit's probably not good enough yet. All right, so you need to keep getting better. And two, you're dealing with human nature. People aren't going to support you until it's very obvious that you're going to win. They might be your friend. They might be cool to hang out with. They might be cool to go to dinner with. You might go on vacation with them even. At the end of the day, your life falls apart. Those are not going to be there. They are not going to be there for you. All right? You might have 2 or 3 people in your life, if you're lucky, that you can count on if shit goes wrong. Okay? And most of us spend our entire lives making decisions around what these people who do not give a fuck about us actually think about what it is we're doing. So reconcile that in your brain. We live our entire lives surrounded by people that don't give a shit about us, and we make our decisions based upon what we're going to do, what we're going to create, and who we're going to become on the opinions of people that probably won't be in our life in 5 to 10 years. So we get scared they're going to make fun of us. We get scared they're going to laugh. We get scared they're going to criticize. And so we do nothing. We just hang out with them and do the same shit. And then we waste all this time and all this opportunity and leave all this potential on the table for people's opinions that aren't even relevant to us. And if your life were to take a shit, they wouldn't be there to help you.
Here's the deal. You want to know why most people can never get anywhere in life? Why most people never live, never experience, never build, never do anything worthwhile in life besides being average and let me know, an average broke. You know why? Because most people's egos are so inflated and so fragile that they won't allow people to see them be bad at something. Okay? Let that sink in. You've never done something before. You expect yourself to be awesome at it. You haven't done the work. You haven't put in the time. You haven't put in the study hours. You haven't had the experience, but you expect to be good. And because you expect to be good, but you know you're not going to be good, you don't do anything. Explain that to me, okay? You want to be somebody who succeeds. You want to be somebody who builds something. You want to be somebody who people write books about one day. You are going to have to be okay with being bad at for a long time. When I first started in business, I didn't even know what the I was selling. Okay, I remember the first person coming in. They came in for a product that I didn't even, it was called Cell Tech by a company called Muscle Tech. They came in, the dude obviously didn't buy it. It wasn't our first sale. He came in and asked me about it. I didn't even know what the it was, okay? But I didn't care because I was gonna figure it out, all right? And that's the mentality you guys have to have. You have to be okay with looking like an idiot for a long time. And a lot of you guys, you'd rather be too cool for school. You'd rather be the cool kids at the high school lunch table than be the person who actually goes out, takes a leap of faith, decides they're gonna try something new, and actually becomes an expert at it over time. Guys, you have to be okay not being good at all right? Every valuable lesson that you're gonna come across in your life is going to come from you something up, AKA failing, all right? And I hate failing as much as the next guy.
You've got to stop making decisions based upon the opinions of your friends and family. And you have to start making decisions based upon what's going to be right for you, not just today, but in 10 and 20 years from now, all right? So they're not going to support you until everybody else supports you. It doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is. You need to get better. And you need to get better so that people outside of that network encourage you and say, fuck yeah, this is cool shit. And then your people will come in and join. That's how it actually works. You would think that your friends and your family and your people, they would all cheer you on the whole way. They don't. They fucking don't. And the reason they don't, in my opinion, is because you're an example of going when they are afraid to go. You're an example of chasing a dream when they are afraid to even dream. You're an example of execution when they are afraid to get off the bench. And so they don't want you to actually succeed. Yes, they will tell you to your face, you're great, you're talented, you're skilled, you're amazing. But when it comes time to show up and buy your shit, they won't be there, bro, because they're actually afraid that you're gonna make it, because if you make it, it shows them that they could have made it too, and they've got to live with that regret. So that's what you're fucking dealing with, bro. So stop worrying about what it is people think about you. Stop making decisions based around what your friends and family think you should or shouldn't do, and start making decisions about becoming an awesome artist or an awesome musician or an awesome CEO or an awesome entrepreneur or whatever the it is you do. And dedicate yourself to that. Get better, keep going. Eventually people from the outside will care, and then you'll see how fake the people around you actually are. You know, when you're young, you don't have shit, your motivation is going to be selfish. It's going to be, hey, I want some shit. I want a nicer house. I want to be able to go to dinner and pay for all my friends. I want a cool car. I want these things. And that's why you're doing those things. And that's great. That's a great motivation. That's why I don't like when people shit on material things as goals for young people. Like, people will just shit on them. They will say, oh, dude, that stuff. No, dude, you don't understand. There's millions of times that I wanted to quit that I didn't quit because I wanted a Lamborghini, bro. And then as you progress through the process and you start to look at it different, you start to, and I think it's also achievement, but it's also maturity. You start to say, dude, I actually really like seeing other people win. I like building careers. I want to win because I want all of our guys to grow. And, you know, it shifts, right? And it shifts into a purpose-driven motivation from material-driven motivation. And I think that's required to go, because the people that don't make that shift, what ends up happening to them is they lose all their shit, because once they get the shit, they get lazy. So the most successful people, in my opinion, usually start out with selfish goals, and then once they achieve the selfish goals, they expand their purpose into bigger things, and then that purpose then gets them out of bed every day and makes them happy and gives them a different perspective on why they're doing what they do, which ultimately allows them to maintain and create more success. And it's also important to realize that eventually you're going to outgrow those goals. And I think if you want to win on the biggest scale possible, you have to delay gratification longer than the other guys. What's it worth to you? Is it worth you slowing down the growth of your business to drive a nicer car? Is it worth you slowing down the growth of your business to wear a nice watch? I don't think it is. I can tell you it's not, because I have all those things, and honestly, I don't give a about them. All right, once you have them, you're not gonna care. You're really not. For a little bit, you're gonna care. For a couple years, you're gonna be like, I'm the man, look at me. And then you're gonna get used to it. It's gonna be no different than what you're driving now. You're not gonna even think twice of it. The longer you can delay gratification, the better you're gonna be. If your goal is to truly become like wildly successful, if that's really your goal, the longer that you can delay gratification and spend all of your money on your project, on your business, and growing your business, the more successful you will be at a younger age. That will come much faster than what you realize.
I hate to lose, but the thing is that once you understand that every time you lose, it's an opportunity for you to not only learn that lesson, but take it a +1 step. Okay, listen to what I just said. A +1 step past the lesson, you'll start to appreciate those lessons. You'll start to be okay with not being good at shit. Guys, you don't want to be the guy who's 37 years old, living in mom's basement, yelling at her for a hot pocket, okay? You trolling people on the internet. You don't want to be that guy. And if you don't want to be that guy, you're going to have to understand that losing is a part of ultimately winning. You're going to lose a lot more than you win. And when you win, you're going to figure out how to get better on top of it. If you're a true winner, they don't celebrate their wins. True winners take the win and they say, how could I have even gotten better? How could I have ran the score up? How could I have won by twice as many points? So you never really feel like you win. And you have to be okay with that, okay?
You know what real winners do? Real winners raise the bar before they ever hit the bar. Before they ever hit, the minute I know I'm gonna hit a goal, I'm already thinking of the next goal. Like, I never actually hit a goal. I don't hit a goal and celebrate. It doesn't happen, because before I've hit the goal, I've already started thinking about the next thing. All right. So congratulations on hitting your goal, but what's next? Because the reality is You didn't really buy the nicest house out here. You didn't really, like, you're not winning on a big level, bro. You're doing good for a 24-year-old, but are you doing good for a 44-year-old? You're going to be 44 before you know it, bro. I was 24 yesterday. If I had said when I was 24, hey man, when I got my first house, or when I got my first thing, or when I got my, you know, like when I bought my first house, bro, you know how much it cost me? 76 grand. I bought a $76,000 bungalow that I lived in. There's phases in your life over the course of, you know, the decades that you're going to be doing this. There's going to be 3 or 4 year stints where you don't make any money. Then there's going to be 3 or 4 year stints where you make a lot of money. Then you're going to have to go back to making no money to level up the next time. Then you're going to make some more. Then you're going to go back to sacrificing again. And so like it's not this thing for most people where they just start making money and they make it. It's sort of like, it's like an up, flat, up, flat, up, flat. And you have to be willing to continue to reinvest when the time comes. Otherwise, you cannot scale. In the first 10 years, I only made $58,000, which is true. However, the other part of that story is the last 4 of those 10 years, I could have paid myself a lot more money, but I chose to invest it in the business. You see what I'm saying?
Got it, yeah.
It's not like we were just broke the entire time. It's that we continued to stay paid low for as long as we could so that we could grow the business.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of delayed gratification. The person that can delay gratification the longest tends to come out the other side with the most amount of wealth. This is about building something. This is about creating something and becoming something. And the more resources you can apply to that and delay yourself from falling into the trap of what's cool on the internet, the more successful you're going to become. It's just math.
When you talk about other people's success and use the term fortunate, it's going to help you out. It's going to help out your results, and it's going to make you sound like not an asshole, okay? Because right now I know there's this guy right there. He's listening. He's saying, but Andy, there is such a thing as luck. There is luck. Well, no, there's luck. Like when you're riding your bicycle down the road and a car hits a puddle of oil and does a donut and misses you by an inch, like we all see on these videos on Facebook, that's luck, right? But going to work every day for 20 years and grinding your ass off and then becoming a multimillionaire, that's not luck. All right, that's action and result. That's action and reaction. That's not luck, okay? You weren't there pointing at this dude who has the life that you want. You weren't pointing out how lucky he was when he couldn't pay his bills. You weren't pointing out how lucky he was when he got evicted from his house trying to build this business. How about when he made less than what you made for the first 15 years holding on to his dream? You weren't there saying he was lucky. How about at night when he's crying to his wife about how stressed he is and how hard his life is and how he's going to be homeless if he doesn't pick up the results at work? You weren't there saying, oh, he's lucky. You weren't there when he couldn't take a solid for 5 years saying, oh man, that dude's really lucky, or when his girlfriend left because he's a loser. Or how about when he's working at 2 a.m.? Or how about when he's working on weekends and holidays when you're out celebrating with your family? Where were you? You weren't saying he's lucky, okay? You don't know what lucky is because you don't know the story. So quit using the word luck and start using the word fortunate. It's gonna do you a favor, it's gonna do you a service in how you think about results, and it's gonna make you sound like not such an asshole, because there's nothing more insulting to somebody who grinded their ass off than when someone says he got lucky.